And moving from the East Midlands, then let's go down to the home of cricket. Let's go down to Middlesex County Cricket Club. And before we talk about anything else with regards to this squad, one name in particular shines out like an absolute beacon, and that is, of course, Shaheen Shah Afridi. One of the most exciting seamers in world cricket is gracing the county circuit in 2022. Dustin, as a fellow seam bowler, how exciting does that make you feel? I mean, maybe not so much in terms of the batting and facing Shaheen, but in terms of the prospect of even just watching him bowl, do his thing. How exciting is this for English county cricket?
Well, personally, I would relish batting against him. I might not enjoy it too much, but I would relish the opportunity just to see how the man operates. I've watched countless of videos on him. I particularly get enthralled by his white ball cricket and his thought processes and his strategies to specific batsmen, how he goes about setting someone up, what he bowls early on in the over compared to later, when to use the bouncer, when not. I think he's a fantastic cricketer. I think he fully deserved being named the ICC Cricket of the Year, Men's Cricket of the Year, sorry. And I think he's an unbelievable signing, and any club would be lucky to have someone like him join their ranks.
Absolutely. It is really, really exciting to see Shaheen back in county cricket. Of course, had that stint beforehand with Hampshire in 2020. But in 2022, fans back in the stadiums, I think he's going to be absolutely blockbuster. So can't wait to see him in action. And aside from Shaheen, of course, you got Mr. Reliable, Tim Murtagh, who will be the club captain in 2022. He took 58 wickets at 18.6 in last year's championship. And then you got Sam Robson, former English test batsman, with 1,047 runs at 40.26. Matt, where do you see their real strengths? And in fact, I'll go strengths and weaknesses for this one, Matt. Where do you see Middlesex in terms of their strong points, their vulnerabilities? How do you assess the Saxes heading into this upcoming county season?
They are quite an all-rounded side, aren't they? I mean, when you look at, you mentioned a couple of decent names there. They've definitely got a strong batting lineup. You can start with that. You mentioned Robson, Stevie Eskenazi as well, who's I still don't think particularly old, is he? He's not. He's certainly still feeling his way in, I think. And yeah, they've got quite a nice looking top order, and especially opening pair. I mean, Mark Stillman, they've signed him, haven't they, from across the River Thames, and he will, that I think you'd be pushed to find a better opening pair that can open on a regular basis in county cricket than Stillman and Robson. They've both got England Test pedigree, haven't they? But obviously the thing with Lords, being quite a spacious ground, you have to bat well to score runs there. So that's why you need batsmen of that quality. But then in the bowling department, who can you think of? I know they've got Ethan Bamber coming through, haven't they? Who I don't know. I know he did all that in the One Day Cup, but I don't know if he's quite what his red ball record is just yet. And they've lost Stephen Finn, haven't they? Who again was sort of developing himself into more of a white ball specialist. But I know he's gone as well. So I think with Shaheen, obviously, I will, to be honest, I will literally put my hands up and say about 18 months ago, I was very unconvinced by Shaheen Afridi. I didn't quite understand what the hype was about, but I definitely do now. So I think, obviously, they'll have shelled out a lot of money for him. And again, keep coming back to it, they've got plenty of it. But they're quite a well-rounded team, aren't they? You have to be honest. Maybe that batting is a little bit stronger than the bowling, but no, they're a balanced outfit. And I'm trying to think. John Simpson will keep wicket, won't he? He's he's proven himself quite recently. So yeah, you've got good performers all down the order. I do wonder, actually, having said that, do they lack a bit of a spinner who will do their spinning? Maybe that's off the top of my head a bit of a weak spot. But no, I think all round they're a good team.
Well, they are indeed, Matt. And just to give some statistical context, I suppose, to Middlesex heading into this summer, you mentioned Stoneman and Robson. They had that 376 run opening stand against Sussex at Hove last season, so you imagine that they'll be back in the runs again this summer. And that seam attack, again, we've been doing our maths here at the County Cricket Podcast, we've been doing our research. Tim Murtagh, 899 first-class wickets. Toby Rowland-Jones, 428. Shaheen Shah Afridi, 114. That's over 1,400 first-class wickets between those three alone on a pitch which is, shall we say, quite seam-conducive. The home of cricket, it's not exactly the worst place in the world to bowl seam. And Ethan Bamber, you mentioned him, Matt, 52 wickets last summer for Middlesex, their second leading wicket taker. So definitely someone to watch out for heading into this summer. On the flip side of that, though, and again, we can't quite provide all of the context behind this. You do have to remember different surfaces, different conditions. But Middlesex completed 26 innings in 2021. In 11 of them, they scored less than 200 runs. So we're not talking run chases, we're talking completed innings. So all 10 wickets have fallen. That's something which is a lot higher compared to the rest of the division. We spoke about Durham earlier with quite a seam-conducive pitch at the Riverside. They had 7. Sussex also had 7. Those were in the ballpark, but not as high as 11. So if Middlesex are to challenge, those batting collapses need to be a lot less frequent. And if they can do that, I do think they'll be strong contenders in this year's Division 2 of the County Championship. And in terms of players to watch, I'll go the player to watch, Ethan Bamber. I think he is honestly someone with a really, really high ceiling. We've had him on the podcast. He's got a lovely cricket brain, knows exactly what he's talking about, has a really, really positive attitude to the game as well. Good, strong action. Yeah, I think Ethan Bamber will be someone to watch out for heading into 2022.